Hi, I'm Doug Jackson, and this is the Badlands Traveler, aka the Cessna Cub.
The Badlands Traveler is a custom-built airplane that's a combination between a Piper Super Cub fuselage and a Cessna 172 wing. This Frankenstein has taken the best parts of the Super Cub and the Cessna and made it into an off-airport, short-field takeoff and landing beast. This is actually the second Badlands Traveler that Doug has owned. The first one was the yellow one that his neighbor actually purchased. In this video, we're going to strap a bunch of cameras on the airplane and then go have some low-level flying fun in this amazing aircraft. So let's talk to Doug and learn more about the Badlands Traveler, aka the Cessna Cub.
You know, I guess I've always liked the big tires and never really thought of Texas as being some place you would have a big tire, machine. And then met a couple of these guys local, which you met on our last video, and they kind of started getting me interested in it. And then I went to a fly-in up in South Dakota a couple years ago and bought the yellow machine that we flew a year and a half ago. It just kind of started progressing. The more we flew around here, the more we talked. A couple of our guys here, particularly one over in Graham, his name's Steve Pierce. Steve is kind of the premier North American or continental United States Super Cub guy. And I started flying with Steve over on the Brazos River and hanging out over there with him and another friend of his named Tony from Wichita Falls. And eventually the thing kind of started progressing to STOL competitions and why we don't have more in the continental United States. And most importantly, why we don't have one in Texas anymore. There used to be one down in Llano, and then it moved down to Hondo, and it was called the Texas STOL Roundup. So I reached out to that guy and was visiting with him, and he is kind of retired from doing it. Super nice guy, and he told me all he knew, and was very forthcoming with the pros and cons of doing them. And through prodding from my friends and my racing background and watching the promoters that race our off-road racing series, I thought, well, this can't be that hard. Let's do a competition. And I started making phone calls, and within a week, I had picked a location, which turned out to be KGLE, Gainesville, up here, just 50 miles up the road. It all gelled. The perfect location, the perfect people. I reached out to a couple of the competitors that are very well known in the STOL world and asked them if they would come to an event, and they said, sure, we'd love to come to Texas. That all culminated in, of course, the Lone Star STOL competition. So what started out as flying with a couple of friends, a year and a half ago with the yellow airplane, morphed into buying what you see here last fall, which transitioned into flying with these guys that STOL, and now we're knee deep into the STOL thing and planning a series for next year. So it's kind of cool. Lone Star STOL was our first event. And then our series is called National STOL, and that's nationalstol.com. And of course, the whole COVID thing has knocked us out this year. We just had to cancel the Sodbusters event, which is coming up. Our tentative schedule for next year will be an event up in the Pacific Northwest, one in Arizona, one in Minnesota, one in the North Carolina area, one down in Florida, and then culminating in a national finals back in Gainesville, Texas in the fall of 2021. Everybody's welcome to compete. I want that 17-year-old kid with fire in his eye that took his daddy's 172, brought it out there and had fun. We have a class for everyone, literally everyone. If you got something you think you want to get out there and compete in, we've got a class for you. We got 5 or 6 different classes. It's an awesome spectator sport. They can come and camp. We've got RV spots at all these places. Or they can bring their airplane and camp. It's just whatever they want to do. If you guys remember from our first video we did, a year and a half ago, I guess now, I had what's called the Badlands Traveler, and it was a Super Cub with Cessna 152 wings on it. Clint Busenich, he builds these things up in South Dakota. And when I bought the yellow one, I told him, he was actually had this one frame in the jig, and I said, I would like to have first right of refusal on an airplane. So as it progressed and I saw how much I liked the other one, we started making changes to this one. I'd give him feedback, what I liked, what I didn't like, and I took delivery of it in September. Flew the yellow one back up there in September and picked up this one. So this is a very similar airplane to the other one, except for a couple of notable changes. We changed up the suspension a little bit, same travel, but a little bit different geometry. Bigger tires, we put 31-inch tires on this one. And then we tricked out the inside. The fit and finish is a lot better inside, and we went with one of the new Garmin G3X Touch experimental. Everything's in the panel. Your PFD, your MFD, your radio, your transponder. We even put autopilot in it. Your engine management system, it's got video inputs. I don't know if y'all can see it from here, but there's a camera down here on the nose. When I'm taxiing or landing on sandbars, I can see if there's something in front of me. And it's saved me already a couple times. I almost hit a tree that was sticking up, but had it not been that camera, I'd have probably hit it. I believe this is serial number 5 or 6. So every one Clint builds is a little bit better. You just have to reach out to Clint on his Facebook page. It's Clint Busenich, and then he owns Vetterman Exhaust. You find Vetterman Exhaust and reach out to him through there. This airplane, I call it the Cub Killer. And that's jokingly, of course. It's still rooted in a Super Cub, and I love the Super Cubs. This one is a little faster because it's got the Sportsman STOL cuff up here. It stalls. It's your iconic 172 wing on steroids with the Sportsman STOL cuff that my buddy Willie Steen builds. That cuff lowers your stall speed. You hear numbers anywhere from 8 to 12 miles an hour. I don't know exactly what I'm running because the airspeed indicator is not functioning there, but I can glance down on a calm day and kind of figure out what it is based on GPS speed. And I'm in the upper 20s, you know, when it finally turns loose. It'll cruise depending on how the whirlwind prop is pitched. Right now, today, we'll see 105-ish, probably with both of us in there. It's a hot day. If I pitch it coarsely, I can cruise 120, 125. These are, Whirlwind makes these, and they're called ground adjustable. And you basically pull the spinner off, you loosen 8 bolts. They've got a little wooden paddle that you put on, you get the blades level, put the little wooden paddle on there, and then put a digital angle meter on it and set your pitch. And I'm pitched right now at about 11 degrees. And I'll go down to about 9.5 for competition and up to about 12.5 or 13 for, like if I were going to go to Idaho, for instance, we're thinking about going, I'll pitch it for cruise to go up there, and then when I get there, I'll pull the spinner and re-pitch it. It takes about 15 minutes. It's a fun airplane just to get up, you know, late in the afternoon and go check out the boats on the lake or fly down the river looking for wild hogs or, you know, whatever. It's you can land it anywhere. I literally, if I have 300 feet at full gross, I'm good. I ran it at the STOL competition just as an exhibition and had a 78-foot takeoff and a 100-foot landing. So they're very, very, very capable airplanes. You know, it's very few airplanes that'll stall down in the 20s and cruise at 120 miles an hour and get in and out of 300 feet. Probably the most amazing statistic on this airplane, though, is its carrying ability. This airplane has a 2,200 pound gross weight, which was, we based that off of what the wing was certified for. 1,080 pound empty weight. So if you do the math, the useful load is 40 pounds more than the empty weight. Useful load is 1120. Empty weight's 1080. So I don't know where you're going to put it.
Yeah.
You know, but if you want to cut up a moose, you know, I guess you can carry it. Not that we get many moose in Texas, but this is basically a Super Cub for all intents and purposes. Clint took a Super Cub fuselage, modified it slightly, used almost their identical tail feathers, used their trim system, and then put the 172 wing on it. This is the fastest growing segment of aviation today. Carbon Cub is just killing it. You know, Husky and Aviat Husky, which is my title sponsor, they're building these really nice airplanes. Both of them sales are just amazing right now. You know, everybody that's getting into this segment of aviation is finding out that people are hungry people get tired of asphalt, you know, and they want to get out and be able to land anywhere. And even if you live in the city and just want to go hit your buddies, you know, like my grass strip right here. These are perfect.
All right, well then, you ready to go fly?
I'm ready to go fly.
Let's do it. with that carbon fiber prop, I mean, that engine turns real quick.
17 Flatbush.
Yeah. I'm gonna shut this and we'll shut this one when we take off.
Okay.
So your AHRS is getting aligned now, your synthetic vision's coming up.
Yeah.
Your engine, everything's on your engine over here.
Yeah.
So. Have to dodge the lawnmowers this morning.
Hopefully they know to get out of the way, I'd imagine.
Well. Yeah, we won't. Yeah, he's off. I'm coming out, keep. This one doesn't take off quite as short as that one does.
Oh, really?
It's a little heavier.
Right.
It's close, but I think in a same guy flying both of them, that one would probably win.
Yeah.
Do a quick run up here. Okay. Shut that. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay, here we go.
Oh man, yeah. I didn't take much runway at all there.
Now.
I mean, about the time the tail started flying, we got off the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, pop a little bit of flaps.
Yeah.
You're off.
Doug's neighbor took off behind us and was flying in his original Badlands Traveler. Hey, it's nice to do this kind of early. It's not too hot up here right now.
Now, and, today, we're having some good weather this week. It's high of around 90-ish, which for Texas in July, I'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I imagine, unless you're doing a real long cross country or something, you normally just stay pretty low on these, right?
Oh yeah, 200 or 300 foot's all you ever want to be. It's where you see all the country. So we can toggle through. There's a sectional map.
Yeah.
When you're seeing traffic on it too. There's your airport waypoint information, your flight plan if you got one, your weather, and weather data, terrain data, traffic, and there's that video input.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And then there's just all your information, and there's your engine instrument, and inside the engine you also have fuel calculations for fuel burn and stuff. And then you go full screen like that, and then you touch this bar up here, and there's your autopilot.
Okay.
So.
And has it got like ADS-B weather on it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's ADS-B weather. That's correct. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, very functional.
Yeah, it is. I love these little panels. It's real clean. Everything's in one, and super cheap for aviation-wise.
Yeah.
My total avionics bill for this airplane, for everything you see, including the wiring harness from Stein Aviation, was $18,000.
Is that for a certified version or is that experimental?
That's experimental. And that's the cost of one of the radios in my 340.
Yeah. It's amazing. It could be the same, like if they were that same system put in a certified airplane, it'd be 3 times the cost.
At least, yeah, very much. You up on here, Keith?
Yep, I am.
Pretty good visibility in this thing,
It is, yeah.
So we're doing about 105, is that knots or miles an hour?
That's miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, true is 110 right now, so.
Okay.
So here's Allison Farms. This is my buddy's place. All right, I'm on the left downwind here, Keith.
I don't know where it's at, so I'll just watch you.
That's on I'm on the left downwind, so just look off your left wing and see it.
A couple fields, but I'm not sure exactly which one. I'll watch you.
Oh, yeah, there's the windsock right there, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, you're pretty close in on a pattern in one of these, I guess.
Yeah. That's one thing I had a hard time teaching Keith. He's used to 3-mile finals. I said, dude, come on.
Yeah, it's more like 300-meter or 300-yard finals.
Yeah, or just turn over the threshold.
Right,
So the guy that owned this place, he had a.
What are you doing?
I'll just do a stop and go. You can come behind me.
Yeah, nice and slow at 40 miles an hour there, and that's you probably could have,
Yeah, I ducked it and wheeled on.
Yeah.
Oh, I got water in my pitot tube. But we'll go from right here.
Yeah, you don't need much runway with this, huh?
No.
It gets off the ground faster than it can land, is that, or sooner, is that what it is?
About the same. They're close. They're close. All right, here we go.
About 30 knots, or 30 miles an hour is the
Yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah, I only had one notch of flaps.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as like surfaces with these giant tires, I mean, you probably don't want to land on concrete, right?
No, we try to avoid it because those tires are about $1,800 a piece.
Right.
And it scuffs them off,
Yeah. But I mean, you can land up, I mean, pretty rough terrain with these tires, I guess.
You can land on, I'd say, I've landed on, rocks,
Yeah.
big as your fist or better, and it the main thing you got to remember, you got a little tail wheel back there,
Right.
So you got to remember it's back there, and try to protect it all you can. But yeah, tires, they'll take a lot.
Flying low all the time, you do have to watch for birds, I guess, huh?
Birds and tower. Birds probably not gonna kill you. A tower will kill you.
Yeah.
So I like just seeing all the beautiful places out here, man. It's amazing how many big homes there are around it you would never know existed.
Yeah.
The plan for the day was to fly over to Lake Bridgeport in Texas.
Dakota 20906 X-ray, 3 miles.
We'll just fly up the river low level, and it makes some really cool video.
Yeah.
With the rock quarries here, you'll enjoy this. When I was a kid, we used to sneak in out here and fishing. A couple of these, one of them's called the Big Hole.
Yeah.
It's probably 250 foot deep, at least. Hey Keith, are you behind me?
Off your left wing, about 3-4 miles.
There it is.
Okay, where I'm going over right now, over these rail cars, look at this tunnel that goes under and over to the other side.
Over the quarry pit, but that's about like as far as I can see.
Okay. I'm gonna do a couple circles here and let you catch up.
You lining straight for the lake.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I didn't know they'd done that. And this is the one, when I was a kid, they called this a blue hole.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd sneak over here and fish in it. It's, they haven't used it for a long time, obviously.
How's the water quality in that, though?
Oh, you can drink it. I mean, you can see the bottom of it. There's great big fish in there. So you driving down the highway here, you'd never know that if you run off the road, you'd plummet 200 feet to your death,
Yeah, right? That's
Shoreline
pretty
right now.
Say that?
The shoreline right now.
Head to the shoreline.
Yeah, I got you. So this is Wise County Park. This is kind of an iconic place where people come out here and camp. Put their boats in.
Yeah.
Hey Keith, let's get kind of formed up here.
Terrain, pull up.
Don't forget that high line over there you're by.
Pull up,
I see it right now, thanks.
pull up. Pull up.
Taxi way for you.
Okay, look at this.
Line.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, you get the red.
Pull up.
I'm gonna have to turn her off.
Yeah, she's telling you to pull up.
Yeah. So you go in here to your terrain, hit menu, and that'll inhibit that. Get that turned off of there.
Yeah, this is pretty cool here.
Yeah. Yeah, we can drop. I think we can drop right down on the water.
Almost feels like I'm in a boat.
Yeah.
The other Badlands traveler joined up with us over the lake.
There you go.
It's really pretty up here. Now your back camera will catch him on it.
Yeah, it should. And I got my little hand. I got my phone here if I need it.
Okay, I'm gonna follow you and get some video behind you. So just fly up the river and hold that altitude, and I'll come right behind you. This is really fun, just late in the evenings, you know, just come out here and do this.
No, I can't see you.
I'm right on your tail. I'm in your 6. Oh, just flew through the wake turbulence.
Pull up and brake left.
Okay.
It was pretty fun flying low level over the lake, but it's one of those things you need to be familiar with the area to know where all the power lines and hazards are if you're going to be flying that low.
Traffic.
After flying over the lake for a while, we headed back to Doug's home airport.
All right, so this is you here again, isn't it?
Yep, we're on low pass here down the runway.
Make sure the mowers are gone.
Right.
Yeah, there they go. They're scattering.
Cadillac flies.
Super Cub, left downwind 175 push.
My G-meter went off there. It's got a G-meter built in. If you pull it up, it'll pop up here.
Oh, really? That's cool.
And Blue Super Cubs base. Gonna turn final here, and I'll let you go roll out. He's gonna turn off.
Traffic.
Oh, bounced out a little bit.
Traffic.
It's all right. He's big old suspension.
Yeah.
It'll take it, no problem. Well, pretty cool. This is definitely just a fun little toy.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Doug, thanks, sir.
Yeah.
It's yet another one of your toys to fly. So.
It was Flash, yeah.
Yeah, it's really fun flying those things. Makes me want to get one for sure.
Yeah, well, one of these days you need to.
All right, we'll do it. All right, thanks, man. Well, thanks again for watching another episode of Flying Doodles. Really appreciate it. Please click that like button and subscribe. And if you want to go fly sometime, send me an email and let's check out your plane.